Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's time to meet you again. We're playing Floowandereeze. That's the intro we're going with. So, Dimension Shifter, you're gonna see this card a lot now. It's really annoying. It's not annoying for me, because I'm playing the birds. It's annoying for the people who aren't playing the birds, which should be no one, because this deck is actually, like, I know how toxic this deck is, but it's actually fun as shit. I was having a blast playing this. So, we play Rabina. We play Eglin. Eglin's going to get our M-Pin. M-Pin comes out. We show dominance because he's a big-ass penguin. And remember to continuously block your cards from getting ashed as much as possible. We play strikes. We get Shifter out of our graveyard. So Shifter works for our turn and it works for our opponent's turn. Remember that. So now every time he does something... Oh, he's playing Adventurer. He smells. Dude, you should be playing birds. What is this guy doing? I would call his name out, but I don't know what the fuck that says. So he's playing Wandering Griffin. We Book of Moon because there's no way we can stop the Draco back from bouncing M-Pen. He activates Rider's Effect. Again, very smelly, smelly vibes I'm getting. Which is not the worst thing. I'm a connoisseur of some smells, you know. We play Eglin off the trap. We're gonna get Robin back. Eglin's gonna grab our Ryza. We're going into M-Pin. M-Pin's gonna activate, which is gonna special summon our... Should be special summoning Rabina. There we go. We grab Toucan Sam most likely. And we're gonna protect that with Strix. Let's see if we get Toucan Sam. And we actually get Barrier Stack Shoot. Jesus, we don't remember these too well. Rise is gonna bounce that because remember he's still under banishment. So Draco back gets banished, which is amazing. And he's playing Phantom Knights, so I'm not really sure what our opponent's doing right here. Because his cards get banished, and he realizes that. Goodbye! Okay, listen up, you little rugrats. We're going to show you how to play the mirror match. The first way of playing the mirror match is to get impermed. So... This is the reason why we won Book of Moon, because more and more people are going to be running Imperm. They're going to be running Effect Veiler because Floowandereeze is now out. So they're going to do everything they can to try and stop what you're trying to do. You know, I was going to try and keep a Yugioh player down. Can't let him do that. So he adds Ashe back, which is hilarious to me. I'm just going to activate the trap now. He's going to Ashe, and then I'm going to laugh in Harpy's Featherstorm. Which probably sounds something like... something like that. I don't know if you guys watch anime, but that's a lot of female characters in animes. They do that weird laugh. That's what I was going for. Well, M-Pen comes out. We assert dominance against their player by summoning M-Pen. Like, look at him. He's like shouting at the skies. Like, how can you beat that? Then we summon Barrier Statue again, assert dominance. And his opponent's kind of screwed. I mean, there's really not much they can do after this. So, we got Toucan Sam. Toucan Sam's going to send that back. We're going to grab it. And then we're going to get our Eglin. Eglin's kind of a weird name, huh? Kind of rolls off the tongue. Toucan Sam. Boom. And our opponent concedes. They don't want any of this smoke. We're about to bird slap the shit out of them. About to be a Perm Debic. And we're here to show Sparker. We're gonna show him what's up. He's playing Exo Sisters because he is a... I was gonna do like a sister joke, but every time I see that archetype, I just think of that show I grew up on. Sisters, sisters. I always wanted to be them. You know? I always wanted to be sisters. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. You know what? I've been up for like so long just to get this video out for you guys. I want you guys to understand how the deck's played and what I think is the most optimal way of playing it. His field's pretty annoying. Ain't gonna lie. Our hand's pretty dog. We're hoping this Prosperity can fix it. We get an Eglin. And honestly, Eglin with map is a pretty good combo, but this guy's got DPE. And he's just going to pop it in response. So this is for people who aren't playing Floowandereeze. If you DPE on activation, the activation doesn't go off. Then we get Effect Veilered. So that makes me cry. Cry a little inside. So we called by the grave that because we didn't want them to draw our 2 cards. So it's going to bring back DPE, which is fine. It's going to activate Exosister Michaelis. I actually Heartbeat's Featherstorm because I'm like, I just don't want him being able to extend past 8,000 damage. Right now on the board, I count him having 5,000. And if he gets another drawer, and boop, that number just jumped. So now he can do 7,500 damage to me max. If he has 1 monster in hand, I'm just dead on board. So luckily he did not. And we lived to fight another day. My 2 M-Pins in hand. What can I draw? Heart of the cards. Rabina. Rabina, Rabina. Everybody gonna like that. I summon Rabina cause she's fat. Ahimba. Aganda. We got our Eglin now. We play our Eglin and now we get the Rise of Dun. Now we play our M-Pin and he can't activate anything. And excuse everything you just heard. So, M-Pin's going to get us this spell, which was honestly a massive fucking misplay. I should have gotten the trap. The trap would have assured me that we win the game automatically. I still think we have a good shot of winning, especially now that I got Book of Moon. But the trap would have locked out the game if I just got the trap. I would have been able to rise on his turn and take out most of his board. So, big misplay on our part. But again, I literally did not go to sleep, waited till 3 a.m. in the morning, and played all these games to get a video out. So, give me a goddamn break. M-Pin, I think people forget that he has a battle effect where I can just discard cards. Sparker forgets, and he cries. That's what I heard. I hope you guys are ready for an Emancipator. We Ashe Blossom, Seeker. Actually, it's a pretty sad Emancipator because they have no follow-up after Seeker. They don't have Analyzer or Researcher. So it's pretty hilarious. I am actually going to be playing on Monday. I'm going to be streaming from 6 p.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to drop by, do so. That'd be pretty cool. I'm going to do it because I was feeling sick on Sunday. And I wanted to... I think it made more sense to stream on Monday because the patch comes out Monday anyway. So, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. You're seeing the patch. I'll probably end up playing some more Floowandereeze on the stream. So, and I think Tuesday we're going to be doing Print Kids shenanigans with the new adventure package, or we'll do Magic Key. I'm not sure. We'll do something. We'll be crazy. As you see, our opponent's screwed. I don't know if you guys seen all that, But we have a M-Pen with a Apex, and we have Trap follow-up, and this spell lets us sacrifice our opponent's monsters too. So, GG. I do want to say, before you guys skip this part, if you use that spell to sacrifice for Ryza, Ryza's secondary effect to return a card back to hand doesn't actually happen. Because the wording on the spell says send a monster, it's not actually tributed. So that's extremely important for you guys to know, because you won't be able to do a Ryza lock where you can keep bouncing Ryza back to your hand. So just remember that.
I sure love myself some stinky feet. Well, guess what? We're giving away some gems today, $50 worth of gems to be exact, so you can get yourself this deck as well. For you to enter, you have to like the video, tell me what your favorite cards from the new packs are, and then you have to be subscribed. That's it, baby. So, alrighty, we're here for the last game. It's delicious.
Shifter, activate. It's against another Adamantipator. Cookie Mirror Guardian. I actually, if I was him, I probably would have countered it. He must have not had much follow-up play if he just played Guardian in past. So we go into pod duality.
I push my fingers into my eyes.
I think that song's called Duality. I'm not sure. Alright, we're gonna get the map. Every time I say map, it reminds me of Dora. And now England's going to be coming out because England's a boss, bitch. We don't need no man. And then Robin's going to come back out of retirement because we sent him to the banish zone. And England's going to be grabbing us a Apex Avian. So Apex Avian's really good, but we're being a little sneaky because we're getting Apex Avian, but, big but, we're actually just concealing the fact we have Ryza in our deck. Because England's going to get Ryza out anyway. And you always want to leave a card in the banish, so when you do the England play, they can't Ashe it. So they're not going to be able to stop my search. So here we go. So I activate this, and he maxes me. You're going to see a lot of people doing this in the first week or two. They're going to maxi your normal summons. It's a beautiful sight. So he's going to Jet Synchron, and our combo activates. If he has Ashe, guess what? It doesn't work. He's just trying to go into Halki Fibrax, and you know what? We're not about it. We're going to Rise of the Mega Monarch. Now here at this point, I could actually bounce the Monarch back to my hand and loop it, but I don't even bother. It's not necessary. The game's so far over. GG Azumi, whatever.
3 Eglin. And guess what? You don't even have to get the ultra rare Floowandereeze because it's not needed. It's not very good. M-Pin's the main baddie that you need. Now this deck looks intimidating. Look at all these ultra rares. Guess what? This extra deck is not even needed, really. I think the extra deck is fine the way it is. I actually think Lyceric, Downward Magician, Zeus. I think Anima, Almirage is okay. Underworld Goddess. But everything else is like really like super not needed. Because this is just fodder for Prosperity. I had these cards, so I just threw it in there. Overall, the cards I do think you need. I think you need Shifter. I think Shifter is insane in this meta. I think it's really strong too, just in general. The fact that it just shuts down a lot of decks. Floowandereeze is like one of the main decks that like don't just get punished so hard by this. Floowandereeze actually thrives with this because banishing cards for us, it doesn't even matter. I think Harpy's Featherstorm, you could build the deck without this, but I really like it. I think it's super good. And the fact that you have another wet layer of just shutting down your opponent. And remember, it's so good in the mirror match.
Because as good as this card is in the mirror match, I mean, as good as this card is in general, in the mirror match, it doesn't really do too much because your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters. They're not special summoning monsters either. So this card allows you to shut down their turn in the mirror match without problem. So I think that's super important. I really do think this deck is so much fun. I really recommend you playing it because this deck is so fun. Like, I'm not kidding you when I say that. I had a blast playing this, and it's actually pretty cheap. Like, if you look at the Harpy's Feather Dusters, and you want to actually, let's look at the hand traps. We got 2 Ashe Blossoms, right? That's 2 Ultra Rares. We got 2 Infinite Impermanents, 2 Called by the Graves. And then the 3 Dimension Shifters, which again, I think should eventually be a staple because it's a hand trap. That's 2, 4, 6, 9 Ultra Rares that you should already have crafted. 11 realistically, because you should have Harpies and you should have Terraforming crafted. So 11 Ultra Rares crafted. That is like the main shit you need. The only Ultra Rare that isn't like a hand trap or isn't like a card that you need anyway for most decks is the Harpy Featherstorms, which is 3, and then the Apex Avian, 4 Ultra Rares. So other than that, the deck's pretty damn cheap. So I think you should give it a try. You're gonna climb very quickly. Like I said, I only played this deck for a few hours, and I climbed to Plat. I think I'm Plat 2 or Plat 1 at this point. And it was like some of the fastest climbing I've done. There's so many people who will scoop against you once you go into MPEM, they just scoop because nobody wants to deal against. Nobody wants to deal against it, and I don't blame them. I mean, this card isn't unbeatable. It's just really annoying. All they have to do is play their cards in defense mode. So other mandatory cards inside this deck are the Pot of Duality, Pot of Prosperity. You only need, and anyone saying that you need more than one of these cards, you're out of your mind. These cards are all recyclable. Like, you have Toucan, you have Stry. So if they go to the graveyard, you can Stry them into the banish zone and then get them with Toucan. Like, the Floowandereeze archetype is meant to win long games. You recycle everything. The last thing I want to say, I know I touched on it briefly, but with Floowandereeze, this card right here, the Unexplored Winds, this card's very good. The way it reads, you can conduct tribute summons that require 2 more by sending 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. So since you're sending, this secondary effect does not work with Ryza. Ryza will not bounce itself back to hand, which if you want to do the Ryza lock, that's a necessity. You can't really recycle the card if you're not bouncing it back to your hand. So just keep in mind, if you're using this, make sure you're doing it correctly. It's good for Avian. It's good for MPen. Hell, it's still good for Mega Monarch if you don't care about the secondary effect. But this secondary effect requires you to tribute a win monster. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, there's really no tricks or trades that you really need to know. Just really just practice your weaving when it comes to summon Rabina, protect it with the Banish Englyn or something like that. So that way you're protecting yourself against Ashe. But ultimately, I feel like people are going to be running more hand traps than ever. So I think the 2 Called by the Graves, and if you have Crossout Designator, maybe you replace the Featherstorms with Crossout Designator. I like the Featherstorms, and I'm going to keep them because I think they're hilarious. And they're very good in the mirror. I can definitely see you playing Crossout Designator in the deck too, because you'll be having a way to stop Ashe, you'll have a way to stop Imperm, and you can even put a 1 of Infect Failure too, because that's another card that was really annoying, but you still could play through it. It's not that bad. I hope you guys enjoyed the games and the deck, and goodbye.